And why do rich streamers like Pokimane constantly complain about rich people? They're rich, right? What is this? Pokimane hates the rich?
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? And we hate the rich. Anyway.
We? Who's this we?
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America?
I love how people like this say it, as if you wouldn't be one of the first ones to get in the guillotine. Do you really think that some bourgeoisie influencer who survives off of donations and, you know, massively overpaid sponsorship money wouldn't be on the chopping block for a revolution? How delusional do you have to be? Anybody, any of these content creators would be immediately getting their heads chopped off. Yeah, you'd be the first one! Who's this we? It's so delusional! What are you fucking thinking? Including me? Yes! Of course including me!
Right? It's getting there, right?
You already have one.
Another one.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity is getting bad.
She's right! She is! She's right! She's absolutely right! It's true!
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
For sure, bro, yeah. He don't even know what the fuck. He's talking about like the men and women shit, right? Like that's totally different. It's like some guy being on a date with like a hyper political girl, and he's like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he's bad too. I don't know why. Yeah, he is racist. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, they just want a better future. For sure. It's like horoscopes? Yeah.
Men and women, we love each other.
Thanks.
And we hate the rich. Anyway. Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No.
Fucking bro, how old is Jason? Jason's like what? He's like 22 or something, right? It's like 20 or 21. Yeah, exactly. It's so funny for me to see people, cause like growing up when Jason was in high school and middle school, Pokimane was this really popular content creator that everybody knew. She was making tons of money, starting her own companies, getting these huge brand deals. And now you're sitting next to her and she's talking about, oh, rich people are bad. What? Huh? What do you mean?
Like the ultra rich.
Ultra rich? I'm sorry, but if your net worth is over $10 million, your head's going on the chopping block. And this is especially true for any sort of media or, like, influencer aristocracy class. Like, this is what happened. Like, of course they're gonna do that. Like, absolutely. Not me, the ultra? Yeah, not ultra rich. Oh, no, it's different.
Giga rich.
Yeah.
The unnecessarily
You have to clarify. Rich. They're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Oh.
You gotta say the billionaires.
The billionaires.
Because you are rich.
The Bezos.
You can't be saying that.
I am. I'm rich in friendship.
Yes.
Well, you also just rich. So she going around cosplaying as if she broke. It's embarrassing, bro. It's so fucking cringe. I don't know why somebody would say this or act this way. It's nuts. And the thing is, this is what I find to be funny about this. What the fuck's wrong with her? Here's what's wrong with her. She is just trying to say this to get... Pokimane always tried... This is why nobody likes Pokimane. Pokimane always tries to say the thing that everybody thinks after waiting for everybody to say it already. And so she waits for the pre-approved opinion, the consensus opinion, and she just repeats that. The problem is that I don't think she gives a fuck about any of this, and the only reason why she's talking about it is to make herself look good. And so that's really the reason. And so this time, the reason why it comes off wrong is that she doesn't really care about like some like wealth disparity, Gini index, you know, like all the gains after 2021 were primarily within the top 1%. Like, what are you talking about this for, right? I mean, we're not getting into this. But the point is that, because the fact is, like, I've made a lot of money since 2021. Like, I'm part of the 1%. My head would be on the chopping block for sure, right? You have a revolution. It'd be me. It'd be me. And it would be her, too. She's been doing it a whole lot longer than I have. And so anyway, top 0.1%. Well, we're going to eat you. Exactly, right? And so, and I get that. I don't know why. This is, so here's what you need to understand about influencers courting and memeing around with revolutions. The only reason why they do it is because they think that they won't be a victim. I've got to tell you, you'll be one of the first ones. because it'll make a big splash. There's a big revolution that's happening, and you're killing all of the royalty, basically. You're killing all of the celebrities. Of course they would do that. Absolutely they would do that. What are you talking about? Duh! People are so stupid. It's embarrassing. But my point is, man yelling at his computer, we're back. Hey guys, we're so fucking back. You're not royalty though? That's not the point. Influencers represent royalty. They represent people with a tremendous amount of wealth, power, and influence that don't deserve it in the eyes of the public. However hard you think streaming is, and like I think streaming takes effort and work, and you know, like I can get into this all, but and none of this shit matters. At the end of the day, somebody sees a girl sitting around saying thank you for the 500 gifted subs, making $1,000 a day, being pretty, and they're gonna be fucking mad because they're sitting there working at McDonald's. If you think that girl is not considered part of a royalty privilege class, you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. This is the reality. This is it. And I don't spend a lot of time. This is the thing, right? I have friends that are streamers. I don't spend a whole lot of time like talking and hanging out with them. I have tons of friends. I know people like, I've lived in the same house my whole life. My life pretty much hasn't changed. I know what it's like for average people more than most people do, right? More than a lot of other streamers do at least, right? And I'm sorry, but this is the exact kind of person that people complain about. That's it. And also, I live this life, right? I mean, I don't live an extravagant life. I don't do anything really particular. Like, the most extravagant thing that I do is I order Chipotle. And other than that, I don't like doing any other kind of stuff. I don't like spending money. And I live in the same house my whole life, and that's it. And Mercedes car, well, I have to buy a new car, right? I mean, like, buying a new car, I mean, $60,000. I think $60,000 for a new car it's a good amount of money, but that's not crazy. It's really not crazy amount of money for a new car, a new car. And yeah, 6K isn't shit. Yeah, I'm just being honest, right? Now I could have gotten one for 30. Okay, I'm not trying to downplay this. I did get a Mercedes and everything, and I think it's great, and it was good that I did that. But the fact is that you know, yeah, of course I could have got it cheaper. That's a good point. But my point is, besides this, right, is that this is the reason why nobody likes her. It's so obvious that like she read this sentiment on the internet and she thought that she could say this to farm likes and to make people like her. And I think this is the reason why this clip was so popular. This is why people didn't like it so much. It's because of how fake it was. That's really what's going on here. It's a bad look. Yeah, that's exactly it. Google champagne socialist or limousine liberal. Yeah, there's a lot of those here. Because they don't compare themselves to the average Joe, but to Musk & Co. Well, just think about that, right? I mean, if you're constantly comparing yourself to billionaires, then who are you closer to? Use a little bit of logic here. If you're always comparing yourself to billionaires and these massive, you know, super popular people rather than an average person, then in your mind, where's your frame of reference? Well, to them. They're your frame of reference, not an average person, because you're so far removed from an average person's life. You know anything about the man making 50K? Yeah. You could also have a 300K one, but you didn't. I don't give a fuck about money. Like, the thing is, like, I actually, here's the difference between, like, me and a lot of other people that, like, talk about these ideals and everything. Like, the, you know, oh, well, I care about, like, you know, like all these like, socialism ideals and, you know, like, oh, this is like rich people are bad, etc. I lived in the same house my whole life. I've driven the same car until the fucking wheels fell off, basically. Actually, the battery died, or the whole engine died. I didn't put oil in it. I ran that. I live in the same house. I eat the same food. I feel like a lot of these people, and I do think this matters. It does matter. It's really damaging for the movement of people that are trying to be a, you know, a force for social change, to be absolutely fucking antithetical in their lifestyle. It is. It looks bad. It looks really bad when you have all of these people who are talking about how great socialism is, how great, you know, like, oh, well, like all these social programs are, and, you know, like all these, oh, I'm for the workers, etc. It does not look good when these people live lives of luxury. It damages the cause. And I want to compare this to somebody who I'm not a huge fan of. This is Pope Francis's bedroom. That's it. It could be this one, or it could be this one. It's hard to know which one it is. People are saying it's one or the other. This is a guy right here. W phone? Yeah, he's got a W phone, exactly. And so he donated his yearly salary for charity too? Yeah. He didn't take any money He didn't have any money. At the time of his death, Pope Francis's personal wealth was reported to be just $100. He owned no property, held no personal bank accounts, and had no investments. Although entitled to an annual salary of roughly that's a lot of money, 340,000 euros as Pope, he never accepted his salary and never took a cent of it. As a member of Society of Jesus, he has taken a lifelong vow to poverty and honored it throughout his entire pontificate. That's fucking based. Absolutely fucking based. And now, I didn't agree with everything that Pope Francis did. There were some things, I think that, you know, Pope Francis, I was raised Roman Catholic, so I kind of have an opinion on this. I think Pope Francis was like probably, I think he damaged the church in a lot of ways in the process of trying to make it more, more contemporary. I think that the Catholic Church is by definition traditional. And I think that the more that you try to change and morph those values to make them congruent with like real, real-time progressive values, I think the more that you dilute and you damage the value and like I guess like I don't know the value, right? I mean, I think that's the best word of the Catholic faith, right? That's it. The spirit of it, exactly. Yeah, it's a tradition. And so the tradition does matter. And there are a lot of things I disagree with the Catholic Church about. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of guys, obviously, you know, like Islam goes through this. I'm sure Judaism to an extent goes through this. I'm just not as familiar with it. And there's always people that are on both sides of this. But I do think fundamentally, you know, it probably wasn't a great thing. But the point is, what matters is that this is a person who you can at least look at and say, they live what they preach. If a person doesn't live what they preach, they probably don't believe it that much, do they? Really, let's just use some common sense. And so the real wealth is power. I think that's true. You can look at Alexander the Great. I think that's a perfect example of that. You know, he said that one time in a speech. But the fact is that, you know, that power is democratic. That people decide that you have that power. And that makes you accountable to them. Power is also accountability. Especially if you don't have money in order to like reinforce it. So yeah, limp dick lefties hate what you're saying. Well, the reason why they hate what I'm saying is that I think everybody knows this, but nobody wants to say it. But I'm probably one of the best advocates of any sort of socialist or, you know, forward-thinking programs. Like, I live the same life I've always lived. I do the same things I've always done. Money has not changed my life at all, really, except for I do order Chipotle. But that's actually because they would never have steak whenever I would get there. And also the reason why, here's the big reason. It's because I'm happy the way that I am. I'm happy the way that I live. And I think that when there are so many people that are trying to talk about, oh, well, I want to be rich and, you know, all this stuff and all these values. If you don't embody your values, you can still have values that you don't embody. Okay? We all have them. But I just don't take them that seriously, you know? Like, I mean, you know, like, I get what you're saying, for sure. But, like, at the same time, like, you're doing this, though, right? So how much is it really? So, yeah, success shows who you truly are. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to embody the value of being rich. Yeah, I don't know. But, anyway, the pursuit of happiness versus the age of contentment. Yes. That's a great point. Socialists are the most miserable, unhappy, bitter, resentful losers out there. Well, I guess that's me. In a lot of ways, I am a socialist. I used to be on food stamps. Guys, I hate to tell you this. Like, you know, I'm self-employed, right? So, like, I have to do quarterly payments to the IRS. I'll just tell you that overall, the whole year, I pay over $1 million, 7 figures in taxes every year. And you know what I say about that? I say, good. Good. Back in the day, I used to be a little fucking retard idiot sitting in my house playing video games on food stamps. And now, I'm paying, probably he's in this chat right now, for some retard idiot to sit in his house and sit on food stamps until he figures out what the fuck he wants to do with his life. That's it. That's it. And so that's really it. Check for your server. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's retarded. Exactly. It's just so weird to me that all these people that, you know, like, again, very, very mixed opinions on Pope Francis, but this lifestyle and what he represented, beyond respectable. Absolute, legit, totally fucking real. He did it. He didn't have to, and he did anyway. Yep, that's a real one right there.